Firstly, Miss Dodds, what is the general feeling between politicians here in Wales at the moment following the death of Sir David?
Well, I think we all join together, firstly, in condemning what happened on Friday and extending our deepest sympathies and condolences to the friends and family of Sir David. It was truly a shocking event, which, has reverberated around the country. And I would agree very much with what Bob Stewart said in many ways. This was a really horrendous situation, following sadly from the situation with Joe Cox 5 years ago as well. And that really what we now need to look at is how we become a much kinder politics, a much more compassionate politics, an opportunity for people really to say how they feel and to have that acknowledged, not be so vicious and abusive towards each other, which I know does happen. Having been in the House of Commons myself, I did see that at times. And we do really now need to focus on how we can be much more about cross-party working, which happens more in the Senedd, I have to say, and really to be able to focus on how we look after each other as well.
Over the weekend, you actually cancelled some of your advice surgeries. Do you think that politicians need to be thinking twice before engaging with the public going forward?
Oh, I think it's a really difficult issue. And again, I would agree with Bob Stewart there. It is about checking people out as much as you can. It is about ensuring that you have safe measures, things like escape routes, and that you've thought about the venue where you're meeting people. I used to meet people on my own. I thought about that again and made sure that I had somebody with me. But really, we have to make sure that we meet people individually because they are coming to us sometimes with very, very deep, intractable situations. Therefore, I would not like to see that stopped, but I would like to see ways of making that as safe as possible for everybody. That doesn't just mean the politicians, but means the people who come as well.
You recently had an experience yourself where you feared for your safety. Can you explain a little bit about what happened? Because it took place just around the corner from me now, outside the Senedd.
Yes, that's right. Just under 2 weeks ago, the Senedd took a vote on COVID passes. If you remember, these were the passes that were then introduced to allow people entrance to nightclubs and big events such as sporting events. We voted on the passes around 6 p.m, 6:30. I then sought advice about leaving the Senedd because there was a big protest outside by people we believe were anti-vaxxers, people who didn't believe in vaccinations. I believe there were about 80 people there. As I left the Senedd in my car was surrounded by protesters. They banged on the car, bent back my mirrors, shouted abuse at me. Put their posters all over the car. And I found that a very, very frightening experience. And indeed, that was reported on, but it was incredibly frightening. I absolutely believe people should protest, but not in a way that intimidates and frightens other people, be that me or anybody else.